You're staring at yourself in the mirror while you put on your skincare products for the day, and you start to wonder, it's been 3 months. Are these products even doing anything to my skin? You've poured time and money into creams and serums and even treatments that promise miracles, but you're still feeling like your skin looks tired and dull and unchanged. This leads to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in wasted skincare, which leaves a lot of people feeling frustrated. And here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to talk about. Popular skincare brands prioritize marketing over results. And in this video today, we're gonna peel back the layers to show you exactly why these products fall short and the real science behind a true medical grade skincare line that genuinely transforms your skin. As a medical esthetician that spent nearly 2 decades working alongside renowned physicians and plastic surgeons, and who has gone through my own struggle with cystic acne for 7 years, I know firsthand what it takes to really heal and rejuvenate the skin. So stick around and I'll walk you through step by step why medical grade skincare is different and how you can finally build a skincare routine that gives you real, long-lasting results. Let's do a little experiment. Go into your skincare drawer or cupboard and take a look. I bet you see a ton of different skincare products that are half used and some that you never broke the seal on. And that's likely simply because, you used something for 2 weeks, you saw that it really wasn't doing anything, your skin looked exactly the same, so you tossed it right back, or you forgot or were never told what sequence or how to use a product, so you just left it in there. Understand that most all of the over-the-counter products that you get at Sephora, Ulta, Target, your favorite department store, have diluted active ingredients in it. They're designed more for broad safety than they are powerful effectiveness. And this is really important for especially women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, or above. A clear example of this, I was actually in Sephora the other day looking for makeup. But I came across, I'm not gonna name names, but I came across a product that was advertising a 20% glycolic acid. And I'm like, there's no way. Of course, I turned the bottle around and it says in small print, buffered glycolic acid. So buffered means essentially diluted form of glycolic acid. When I talk about medical grade skincare brands that are actual medical grade, they contain something called non-buffered AHAs or non-buffered BHA. So that's going to be much more powerful. And this is especially important for women in their 40s or 50s, 60s. You don't want to waste your time with over-the-counter stuff. I'll give you another example of why popular skincare products aren't working. So this is happening more and more lately. We're in 2025 right now, we're at the end of it. And what's happening in the industry is what we all kind of call medical grade skincare products. And I put quotes around it because they're not true medical grade products, but brands like Revision, Alastin, ZO, SkinCeuticals, they are selling now or have already sold to big corporations and private equity firms. So for instance, SkinCeuticals was sold to L'Oreal. Obagi, or not Obagi, ZO was sold to Blackstone. Alastin was sold to Galderma, so on and so forth. So what generally happens with these acquisitions is the formulas change naturally. And what they're trying to do is save money on expensive ingredients, so they trade that for the cheaper ingredients. And that can sometimes translate to the efficacy when you're using that. Another perfect example, and this applies to me because I'm obsessed with organic foods. I've been eating organic foods for so long now, and I think that's actually what helped me cure my acne. Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods was bought up by Amazon. Now I go to Whole Foods, and what used to be lovely, colorful organic section is now shrinking down. So my organic selection is getting smaller and the commercial produce is getting larger. These are all kind of factors to take into consideration before you buy another product. And all this matters because you likely want to stop wasting so much money on ineffective products. We've all seen enough Instagram ads to last us a lifetime, right? Or if you're old like me, the infomercials that were on at 2 a.m. where they were featuring some cream or skincare system that was promising these dramatic results, or better yet, some rare fruit that was only found in the south of France and it was going to age you backwards. A lot of us fell into this, we bought it, and what? You were disappointed, weren't you? As was I when I got the Proactive system. It was okay, but it was not what they had promised. You know, another new misleading marketing claim that I'm seeing pop up more and more lately is this pseudoscience, right? All these companies and skincare brands now want to say that they have science to back up their claims. But when you look a little further, it's usually a one-off study that was conducted by their team of specialists. So it's more biased. It's not peer-reviewed data. I'll give you an example. There's a very, very popular, you probably know who they are, but I'm not going to mention the name, this medical grade skincare line that came into me and said, you know, we have this new study that is basically saying L-ascorbic acid, which is the gold standard for vitamin C, is showing to degrade elastin in the skin, which to me was like, blasphemy. I'm like, what are you talking about? But the more I looked into it, it was one study. It was not peer reviewed, and it was ex vivo. Ex vivo basically means that it was conducted on non-living skin in a petri dish, so not on a living organism. And so I thought this was very interesting, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. L-ascorbic acid has, I believe last time I looked in PubMed, thousands of studies that back up its efficacy in firming the skin, in brightening the skin, and also its ability to protect against free radical damage. So it's going to take a lot more than one single one-off study to shift my opinion on vitamin C. This first tip goes out to all the skincare savvy people, the individuals that already know what active ingredients they're looking for to use. They just don't know how to identify how one product has more of it than the other. You simply just turn the ingredient list around. You look. If you don't see that active ingredient within the first 5, it's more than likely that that product is not going to be as efficacious as you want it to be. And this is all because the FDA created the Consumer Labeling Guide. By law, they have to put on every single product, if an ingredient has greater than 1%, it must appear in descending order. Now let's answer the question that I know you're all asking yourselves. What is the true meaning of medical grade skincare? And there's a lot of confusion circulating this term because the FDA does not recognize medical grade skincare as being a thing. It regulates over-the-counter products and it regulates drug products. Products that come from a compounding pharmacy that are sold directly to a physician's office, or even chemists that sell directly to physicians' offices, typically derms or plastic surgeons. They will distribute to the physician, and the physician only is allowed to sell the products under the supervision of the physicians or estheticians that they hire. This way, they're distributing higher active ingredients, but it's under this safety umbrella with, understanding how to apply these products, when to stay on them, when to stay off of them, and so on and so forth. So that is a true medical grade skincare line. The longer I've been in this industry, the more I've realized how tough it actually is to find a good medical skincare line. They're kind of like finding a diamond in the rough. It's really hard. So once you find it, it's like you can truly see the value of skincare products. I remember when I first tried what was deemed as a medical skincare line back in like 2007. It was called IS Clinical. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that line, but it was the tiny little eyedropper bottles. The whole line was like eyedropper bottles, but it was amazing. They had a vitamin C called Pro Heal. And within just a few days, I was using this vitamin C and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see a visible result. The way I put makeup on underneath, like there was a glow. And they had like a salicylic acid one too. But of course, the formulation changed with time and it became less effective. So that was kind of my first introduction to like what a medical skincare line could be. Oversight from an esthetician or a dermatologist or any other skin professional is oftentimes overlooked, right? Because a lot of us think, I know my skin. I can figure out what I need. I'll just go on the internet. But I can't tell you how many times in a consultation, the patient will bring a giant Ziploc baggie full of skincare products, half of which is not even appropriate for their age or their skin type. And then the other half is usually just marketing junk. And so I really think it's still important, even though we have ChatGPT now, we have all the information in the world, there's still a lot that your providers know from treating the same stuff day in, day out that the internet will never have. Just like a professional chef selects the finest ingredients for his gourmet dish, skincare professionals are selecting the best ingredients and formulations for exceptional results. Your skin deserves proven, science-backed solutions that genuinely deliver results. Let's talk about how to transition to a results-driven routine. First, we have to talk about if you are one that is just blissfully ignorant, still on the hamster wheel of trial and error, having no direction and not seeing any visible improvements, but you're happy like that because, let's face it, you love doom scrolling, you love buying what's trending, and you're obsessed with Sephora, and that's okay. That just means that this might not be for you. But if you are like me and you are 43, you need a whole new skin regimen because you're aging, or you just want more results-driven skincare, you want to feel like you're actually getting somewhere, then it's time to shift towards professional advice, using medical grade skincare, and getting aesthetic procedures. Hello lasers, they are a powerhouse of accelerating results. Since I've spent nearly 2 decades in the aesthetics arena, I have probably tried hundreds of thousands of products. And I have researched all the different actives and what they do in the skin, what the mechanism of action is, and I've been able to see clinically, how these active ingredients play out long term and how they marry well with lasers. And then finally, patient satisfaction, right? Like who likes what and why. And that's why I created this video that I want you to watch, all about my favorite vitamin C.